Well, it's definitely an ongoing conversation. What am I talking about? Traffic. Almost every, especially in Lagos, and more importantly, on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, because information just reaching us, says that the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway from MFM outbound Lagos is under total lockdown this morning with traffic stretching for hours. How far or not that is true, we'll be speaking with a couple of people involved this morning, but we'll begin with the sector commander in Lagos of the FRSC, Mr. Hygiene Osumeje. Thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Can you confirm this?
Yes, it's true. I got the report shortly before entering the studio. By Moe, shortly before capacity, there's this truck that was heavily loaded, and I think he had a problem, one of the tires on this, and it now caved in, about to empty the content on the road. So it's just moving gradually, like it, almost crawling. And there's a Julius Berger Caterpillar payloader as we speak now that is giving it a backup, pushing it just to see if we can manage to push it off into that capacity axis so that it will not empty the contact on the road. As it is now, you can't even tow it. You can't tow it because any attempt to tow it, all those contents will just spill on the road. So what because it's moving at a very snail speed. So what they did was to stop traffic and use this payloader to give it a push, continue to give it a push until the driver can be able to take his hand off the major road and push it off the hard shoulder.
Sorry,
yes.
What's responsible? Is it the tires failing?
Yes, I think it's the tires failing. And because of the load, it quickly shifted.
I will tell you this.
Yeah.
As at about 5:45, 5:50 this morning,
Yeah.
I was driving along that same road towards the office.
Yes.
Before Kara Bridge.
Okay.
This truck was already had 2 tires failed.
This
And
very truck we are describing.
I don't know if it's the exact same truck, but it didn't have 2 tires. Both of them were not just flat, they were rumpled. So, and this guy was still trudging along on the road very, very slowly, just as you have described. So how do we ensure that these things, because I am very sure that there are traffic officers who must have seen this along the way and no one was able to stop them.
You could say that, I'm happy you said by 5. So this journey is into, or I don't know wherever that thing happened, but definitely it happened within the wee hours of the morning when you have not had the kind of massive presence of traffic officials as you used to see during the day. At night, for security reasons, what we do is just to provide rescue services. That is, we have people that is, if a call comes in, whether from the call center or anybody calls my line, and for whatever reason we get a call that there's a crash, then you activate the emergency response team at night. But you don't have that kind of regular presence you see during the day for obvious reasons, security challenges.
And that begs the question, if you are well equipped when it comes to manpower and equipment. You mentioned Julius Berger articulated vehicle trying to help that particular truck.
Yep.
And I think I see about 1 or 2 of your articulated trucks.
Tow trucks.
Tow trucks. I think it's about, is it 1 or 2?
No, within this corridor now I have about 4 of them.
4 of them.
Yes.
So the question is, manpower-wise, do you have enough manpower? And equipment also, do you have enough equipment? Because if you want to apply this route, I was on this traffic for about 6 hours. At some point, someone was hawking pillows, perhaps telling us you sleep there. But the question is, do you have enough manpower and equipment?
Can I be honest with you? What we are having on Lagos-Ibadan Express Road is not about issue of manpower. Neither is it about issue of equipment.
But do you
As
have,
good,
do
I
you
have. I have. You see us route line every now and then when you have this kind of issues. And I'm happy you cited our 2 trucks at critical positions, as you said. That's where you'll be able to, you almost got it, the accurate number that I have there. You are actually right, because it's just yesterday that I ordered another heavy-duty tow truck to join us here. I withdrew it from another corridor to bring it here again to make it 4. coupled with one we have in Mowe. And like I described that issue, the present situation we have at hand now, you can't tow it. Like you said, you saw it. We can't tow that vehicle now. If you any attempt to lift it up to tow it, those contents will empty. So we have the manpower, we have the personnel. It is what is lacking is the motoring public reciprocating. Let me use that word.
Now, this motoring public,
what we are doing.
Does this motoring public have the kind of education they need, especially those who drive these trucks, these big trucks, at any time on this Lagos-Ibadan Expressway? Whenever you observe heavy traffic, it usually involves these long vehicles bearing one heavy equipment or one heavy content or another. Most of the time, it's because they are moving slowly or they broke down where you have already partitioned the road. So is there anything that can be done or is being done to educate them to take responsibility so that they don't just, disturb other people using the roads, because of their own desperation to get where they're going on time?
Let us get a clear analysis of the situation we have on Lagos-Ibadan Cross Road. Number one, the road is undergoing total reconstruction and expansion. Two, there are diversions. If you count, we have 4 sections now. We have 4 sections where work is ongoing simultaneously.
Between where and where?
Between here and Kapasi. You have the Kara one. Then the latest one that they diverted was from Maboro to Punch. Then you have the Ibafo axis. Then you have the Mowe. So these are 4 sections where work is ongoing. Now, these diversions obviously narrowed the carriageway. It's no longer as when you had it such that even if you have this kind of truck that we have this morning that is moving the way it is moving, you still have space where others can freely pass, especially,
which also begs
for big trucks.
Which also begs the question, Mr.
Yes.
Major, that, look, if we knew, because we always knew that these kind of things will happen, but having so many, diversions within such a short, corridor of the road is a lot of work. Coupled with the fact that these areas hitherto were not so populated, but now have so many residential estates and homes to people.
Yes, I agree with you. Without holding brief for Julius Berger, because we keep on interfacing. Even when they wanted to do some of these things, we do engage them. Periodically, we do engage them. And there are reasons also from their own point of view. Number one, the government is on their neck that they must finish this thing within the record time. Two, they also explain some issues here. If you break a section and the equipment for that breaking is quite different. If we do it the way, if it is done the way you and I think, what it means is you use this equipment to do just the braking. After that one, that equipment will be lying fallow if you do not move it to another section. And let me tell you, for every hour that it is lying fallow, they are paying. So they too, now you use this equipment, it's like there is specialization of function in terms of this equipment. So if an equipment do what it's supposed to do within this section, it has to move to the other section to do the same thing. Otherwise, if you don't activate it, it will be lying fallow and they will be incurring costs. Having said that, the issue here is let us look at a way out of it because it is here already. We are already, the construction work, the diversion is already, but what can we do to ameliorate this situation? And the solution is in our hands. And when I say our hand, you and I as a road user, that we need to do what we also ought to do. Obviously, we know that the carriageway is narrowed. There is also an influx. Please, let us not lose sight of this. There's an influx of vehicles into Lagos now. All the goods that were ordered for this season, this is the period they are being cleared. This is the period people are coming to Lagos. Lagos still remains the commercial nerve center of Nigeria.
In fact, Lagos, this route is said to be the busiest in this region.
I agree.
But, there are 2 things I just want to raise. I know this conversation is centered around how we can have better traffic management on that axis. So whichever way it tilts, that's the goal.
Exactly.
On one hand is, you know this route very well. Once there's a lot of traffic on the Long Bridge, and I like us to be practical here. Yeah. The other side, you find people facing oncoming traffic, and this happens very frequently. That's one.
Good.
So, and I've seen accidents happen as a result of this. I'm sure you have seen that. So we need to ensure that we curb that. That's on one hand. And there were reports last week, because I think it was early last week or 2 weeks ago, in the early part of the week, there was major traffic. And there were reports saying that there was some form of conflict between the police and the FRSC, and that made rounds. So first, for that Long Bridge facing coming traffic and the relationship with the police, I'd like you to talk about that.
Okay. You see, each time you have that kind of traffic and people start driving against the flow of traffic, that is even the most worrisome aspect of it, because the people that are driving against the flow of traffic, to your dismay, are not your traditional yellow buses style thing. These are people on SUVs, braziers and suspenders and coats, suits like you, who are now driving against the flow of traffic. So like what Ayo asks, is not even about what is the educational level of this person or this. It's about the issue of flagrant disobedience to traffic rules and regulations.
Some of them usually wear uniforms as well.
And yeah, I'm coming there because that is where this now comes in. Now, many are called, but few are chosen. It's not everybody that you think because everybody is wearing uniform, you think that the same level of discipline and sanity is just in everybody. Yes, I saw the video that was making rounds over the issue of those conflicts. Why wouldn't there be conflict? My job is to ensure that I provide a safe motoring environment for Nigerians. And in the course of doing that, we say people should not drive against the flow of traffic. And here you now see somebody in uniform driving against the flow of traffic. I have taken it up to the highest police authorities within the state and even within the zone, and also to the military authorities, because it's not only police that's involved, to the military. But what investigation has even revealed is that some of these people you see on uniform, they are even what I would call fake service personnel. You see, if you each time you are passing along that road, by OPIC, especially as you're just coming out of the Long Bridge, you see people in police and army uniform. We have discovered that most of them are not in service or any longer.
But
some of them are dismissed, while there are still some in service. And when it comes like that, those that are in service, and I have had a personal encounter like that also. And what I just did was to take the details of the person and make my formal report. We don't have gun. They have gun. And you don't, it's a madman that goes to go and fight somebody that is carrying arms. Okay, so all you can do is use administrative means to solve it. And it has been, yielding fruits.
Well, we'll talk about some people who carry guns, officially. You talked about this collaboration. I think it's one of the issues we'd like to raise with the police PRO in Ogun State. That's talking about Mr. Bimbola Oyeyemi. Okay. He joins us via Skype. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Mr. Oyeyemi. Now, I don't know how you would want to react to some of the face-off that happens between some of your men and some of the people that Mr. Omeja is talking about, his own people and some of your people who are supposed to collaborate, but unfortunately, occasionally, there are frictions in their relationships. How do you react to that?
Thank you very much. In carrying out our duty, I don't think there is any reason for us to have misunderstanding for our men and the men of Federal Road Safety Corps to have a quarrel. There is nothing like that. We are all working towards the same goal. They are security agents, and we are also security agents. And our job is to ensure that the citizens of this country they have easy passage on that stretch of the road. So there is no reason for that. And if there is any reason for that, I think the hierarchy of both organizations, they will take it up at the management level, and whoever is at fault is going to be called to order. And having said that, the Long Bridge, where we do have some of this country,
if you don't mind, I would like to ask you not to use your own television set to listen to, because we're getting that feedback. So while you do that, let's just ask Mr. Omeje, if while you're working on that, now you have listened to some of the things he said, but then we see that this happens time and again. And there's also the talk about security, which he will wade into. Just yesterday, there was a talk about a robbery. I'm sure you heard about it. So
I got that report of the robbery, but I could not confirm it. So I got it on the platform, one of the platforms that I am in, that we use to monitor this place. There was road users flagged it up that there was robbery on Long Bridge, but I couldn't confirm it. So all I did was to direct my my head of operation to reach out to our police counterparts at Wariwa, who is very close to that place, that even if anything like that did happen, so that we can see how we can avoid a reoccurrence.
Have you had any similar occurrence over the past few months since this started?
Honestly, it has not been too this. You see, the issue is that there's a section of that Longs Bridge also that we have, miscreants. Not really armed robberies, but just these miscreants that can just look for somebody that did not whine or down, and you just see somebody, snatching phone, and before you know it, he jumps down. And that's why you notice that the police have always been patrolling that axis. The Wariwa police station, even before the reconstruction work, you see them moving on that bridge, motorized patrol on that bridge. But you see, the issue of criminals and police is like the cat and the mouse. Once you look like this and they don't see that patrol vehicle, maybe some of these miscreants can come out, do one thing and run away. But they have been patrolling that, and we have not had. And that's why yesterday I was doubting whether that report was true or not, because, like I said, I couldn't confirm it.
Is that perhaps why there was a suggestion that maybe the FRSC should start carrying arms? I remember that was a major talk at some point. Is that still in the works?
No. That's not the issue here. The issue of carrying arms or not is a very high policy issue that I wouldn't really like to discuss here, because the Establishment Act is there, but government in its wisdom, they know what they are doing. At the right time, everything will put in place. So it's not something I want to really emphasize on air.
All right. Now, one of the things that, the Road Safety Commission usually advises is that people should use alternative routes whenever there are, heavy traffic, situations as we are here.
Traffic advisory.
But, heading to Ibadan now, heading to Benin, the southeast, the southwest, the south-south is the same Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And as Kayode said, it's about the busiest in the southwest, in West Africa, as some people have said. What alternative routes are there? Because the only alternative routes that people are aware of, through Ikorodu in particular, is not motorable.
That is a very unfortunate incident that we find ourselves, in the sense that had it been that the Ikorodu to Shagamu, Ijebu-Ode, have been outrightly rehabilitated before we started this one, we will not be having all these things we're having.
But these were part of the promises. These were part of the promises that your institution, the Federal Ministry of Works, also made to people.
Are you aware?
These
are you aware that as we speak,
routes are going to be
even
made
that
available?
Ikorodu Road is also undergoing rehabilitation? Yeah, the two sections there were total collapse of some of these corridors, and the Federal Ministry of Works came out to fix them. To at least ameliorate the suffering of the motoring public. It's just that the rain this year disturbed a lot in terms of all this.
We knew it was going to happen, Mr. Umeju. It's not right. But let's very quickly go back to Mr. Abimbola Oyeyemi, the police PRO in Ogun State. Well, thanks very much for getting back to us on this. Well, there have been stories, allegations of security challenges on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, especially the areas, where, there are diversions and road rehabilitation is ongoing. Do you have any confirmation of these stories?
So, quite sometimes now, there have not been having any issue along that road, especially the notorious Long Bridge, where we always have some pocket of robbery before. And for the past 3 years now, that place has been sanitized. not until when the construction of Lagos-Ibadan Express Road begins. And along that road, we have our men there constantly on 24-hour basis. The DPO Wariwa, the area commander Owode Egba, and the team of Special Anti-Robbery Squad and our anti-kidnapping team, they are always there 24 hours. Not until yesterday when we had there are some cases of dispossession of passengers of their goods. And I believe this is just an opportunistic crime when some of these hoodlums, when decided that there is no police presence somewhere, they quickly jump there and snatch phone or bag. And as of yesterday, we made arrests. We arrested about 6 suspects yesterday. Last week, we arrested 4, and all of them were charged to court at Owode Magistrate Court, and they are presently remanded in prison custody. So we are working 24 hours on that road, and the Department of Operations has already rolled out an operational order. Don't forget that the Ogun State, we have the international headquarters of many of our religious centers here. And the implication of that is that there's going to be influx of people into the state, especially during this Yuletide season. And we are not oblivious of that fact. And that is why our men are positioned regularly, especially on the Long Bridge. So we are working there now to ensure that the commuters along that road, they have easy passage.
Then Mr. Bimbola Oyeyemi, the police PRO in Ogun State, thank you very much for sharing your perspectives on this. We just hope that we'll be able to have a lot more of that. But Mr. Hygiene Osomeje is still here with us this morning talking about the same thing. Well, their bit is security, of lives and property. Your bit is
the traffic management.
Traffic management and safety on the roads and all of that. We're still concerned about the collaboration. You referenced a video that you saw the other time. Whether it's fake police or fake soldiers or real police or real soldiers, Nigerians don't know. What we can see is the fact that there are uniformed men having a face-off with other uniformed men. That doesn't make anyone feel safe.
Like if you heard what the police PRO said, well, especially at the lower rank, once in a while you do have some of these face-offs like that, but at the management level, it is always handled. Like he said, I did tell you I have had encounter too, a personal encounter, and I didn't go to start going into any this thing. I simply took details and made my report to the appropriate authorities.
Well, I don't know how you're going to communicate this, Mr.
But then,
forgive me.
Yes.
I don't know how you're going to communicate this, but the people that the Nigerian can see are the people on the lower ranks. So if it is not going well on the lower ranks, as far as the Nigerian is concerned, there is fisticuffs happening upstairs.
No.
That's the impression
at times,
that
some of these things might just be like altercation of words, not necessarily people going into physical combat. But the moment the public see two services arguing over one, it could just be a case of, please wait, let this line move. Then your own line will move, and somebody will just feel, why should you say, let my own line stay? It's just things like that. It's not as if there is mayhem anywhere, or you see people shooting themselves or beating themselves with sticks. It might just be, I saw the video in question that you referred to. I saw it, and I think it happened somewhere by Kara, yes. And that was on Monday. There's no, because it's viral. It has gone viral. There's no need denying that this doesn't happen. I saw how they were arguing over whatever. I didn't know what was arguing, but I didn't see anybody engaging in physical combat. But people,
we don't have to wait for that.
No. It didn't even get to that. The senior officials among them quickly separated them to different directions, and the normalcy returned. Those kind of even in a home. At times, husband and wife, they squeeze faces. So it's not,
So
it's
who's
not
the husband,
something
who's
that
the
we,
wife in this
it's not,
I'm wondering.
it's not something that we need to
Okay, so
really
how
overflog.
long?
No,
Do you
it's
have
not.
any
There is,
information for us?
there is cooperation,
Okay.
there is collaboration among all the services. Like the police people say, if you come early in the morning, you always see the police officers there. They are the ones that give us backup.
Okay,
If anybody
quick
wants
one.
to assault us,
Quick
any
one.
motorist, we always run back to them.
Okay,
But,
Mr. Meji.
you know, that's something
Quick one.
people argued does not mean that.
How do you have any information? Very, very quickly,
Yes.
5 seconds, 10 seconds. Do you have any information for us? How long Nigerians have to wait to suffer, to endure this hardship?
I think if you look, if you, I don't know the last time you start to assess the work on the Kara Axis. All things being equal, in the next 1 week, I'm sure they are going to finish one section. And the Julius Berger have told us that when they finish that section, they will open. No. They are not even moving yet until January.
Okay.
When,
all right.
So that section will be opened.
Okay.
And like we said, from day one.
We really, really have to go.
No, I agree with you.
Meji.
That place is a critical section. Once they open it and we don't move into the second phase until January, I think Nigerians should be rest assured that all will be well.
Thank you very much. Mr. Hyginus Omeje is the Sector Commander of Lagos Command of the Federal Road Safety Commission. Thank you very much for sharing your perspectives.
Thank you very much, Ayo.
We'll be back to take on another issue of importance. Please stay with us.